This program is brought to you in part by SalCal Real Estate Connections. Yes, welcome to Racing Action Today. We're here today with a special guest who is involved with some very interesting cars. One of my favorite cars of all time, a Corvette of all things. And he has been involved in racing, and he's got a fantastic business to refinish and help repair Corvettes. Corvette Center and Ray Zisa. Thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
So tell me, how did you get started with all this business with Corvette Center?
Yeah, that's a story. So when I was 18 years old, I got my first Corvette. Of course, I always wanted one since I was a little kid, and I finally got one. And at the time, I was a mechanic working at a gas station, and so I had some abilities to fix my own car and work on it. And so I had that Corvette, and I got from there. I got in my early 20s, was involved with a Corvette club and met a lot of people through that. And one of the guys in that club, by the name was Bill Bartenstein. He had a Corvette facility, repair place, and he was involved in the club, and everybody knew him, and a lot of people brought their cars there. And actually, I had sent my car there. I think I painted one time, one of my cars. And so a few years later, I think I was in my early 20s, 24 maybe, he was, this is 1978, May of 78, he was looking to semi-retire, move to Hawaii. So he had the business up for sale, and some guy comes by and wants to buy the business, but knows nothing about Corvettes or the people involved with it. My name comes up, he recommends me. I get involved. At the time, I was working as a mechanic for a Volvo dealership.
Okay.
And basically, I bought into it back then in 1978, and I've been there ever since.
Now, what location was that?
That's a good question. It was located out in Bolton, Connecticut at the time. Yep, Corvette Center.
Now I remember. Yeah.
And so some of the personnel changed over time. My partners had changed. And I had a partner that lived in Newington and had property in Newington, was putting up a building in Newington for his business and then also for our business. So we moved to Newington in 1984, and we're still in that same place right now.
Now, when it comes to what you do there, tell me exactly. I mean, do you do every phase of a repair?
Pretty much, yeah.
Or do you specialize in certain things?
We pretty much do everything.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Pretty much everything. We just in general, all the mechanical, from maintenance to major repairs, mechanical. Interior, we do as much as our own interior as we can. Body and paint work especially. Restorations, if you have a old Corvette, we'll do a complete frame-off restoration.
Oh, wow.
Every nut and bolt. Or just an oil change on your new Corvette if you want. So we're pretty much open to anything.
So, I mean, besides Corvettes, you do different cars too, right?
So what happened was, over time, we were known as Corvette Center. Our Corvette customers also had other cars, muscle cars, even some exotics, and they didn't know where to bring those cars, and they trusted us, and they would bring those cars to us to get fixed, and they're fine for us. They're old school, muscle cars. They're very similar to Corvettes. A lot of they share a lot of the same things.
Yep.
And we ended up working on those too, and we end up having a lot of those right now too.
I'll be honest with you. When I go to your shop and go in that showroom, it's like going to a car show. I never know what I'm going to see. There's always a beautiful array of Corvettes in there.
Yeah, it's a small showroom. There's only 4 cars that fit, but we try to buy nice cars.
Yeah.
We're known for our quality cars that we sell. We buy really good cars, some from some of our customers. That's a common scenario. We fix whatever needs fixing on them and make sure they're a good car.
Well, I'm sure that clients eventually will sometime move up, to a newer car, or even look for an older car.
Yeah, we've had
right,
or an additional car.
Yeah,
a lot of customers have more than one Corvette.
Yeah, yep.
Luckily, a lot of times they've bought them from us. There's numbers of customers that have bought multiple cars from us, and sometimes we'll even take them back in trade and sell them either a newer one if they want a newer one, or an older one if they want an older one. So we're glad to help wherever we can. I think our biggest problem in that respect is supply. It's hard to find good cars. It really is.
Now, speaking of supply, how about parts? I mean, are parts a problem or no?
Sometimes parts can be a problem. Different things affect that, chain of supply, as they say. But luckily, because the cars carry so much value, these older cars, they're worth fixing. They're worth companies investing in making parts for these older cars.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of reproduction stuff out there. The quality's gotten way better, along with all this NCRS and Bloomington Gold judging that's going on that certifies these cars, and they want better parts for that, and
now,
they're supplied with them.
When it comes to new cars, how long will they make parts for a car? Is there a certain time span?
You'll typically see a new car dealer or a new car supplier, manufacturer, maybe 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah, but we're still buying stuff for some older cars that they do make, and not a lot of it, but I think they're required by law to go to a certain year to support a car that they built and sold at one time. But it's up to them. If there's enough volume of parts being sold, they'll keep making them.
Now, being in business, specializing with Corvettes, is there certain years you find are more sought after than others?
Yes. I think one that stands out to me is 1967 Corvettes, especially. For some reason, they're high demand. They're ultimately higher price because of that. 1957 was also a good year. 63 was a real good year, especially the coupes.
It seems like when I go to a car show, Ray, and I'm talking with a Corvette guy, they always own a 63. I don't know why, to me.
63 was the first year of that body style. It was completely different than the previous year. I remember, the Stinger. I remember when I was a kid and those cars came out. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, sure.
Oh my God,
Everyone what?
Oh, everybody wanted one. Yep. So I mean, that's one year that seems to be very popular because of that. I think a lot of people can relate to that.
I find that, when I go to car shows and we talk about different things, and I'm amazed that most of these guys, they have to have a 63, and they'll tell you right up front. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's my baby.
Yeah. So the old ones, the new ones, people want to have too. There's a high demand for the new car also, as you know.
Let me tell you, the car is beautiful. I think it's beautiful.
It is.
Really.
Yeah, it is.
A new car, oh boy.
Wait till you drive one.
That's the other problem. When the C7s came out, I could get in the car, but I couldn't get out.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know about the C8s.
They're similar, but they're not quite. They try to make, they call it egress, get out of the car. They try to make it easier so that, because they can keep selling cars to people that can get in and out of them.
Now, the new motor, I'm not really up on them. I mean, what do they use now?
They still use almost a small block Chevrolet, but it's a much more modern.
Is that what do they call it? A C2 or something? I forget what they call it.
No, they have different configurations for those. They're LT5s, LT1.
Like dual red cam and stuff like that.
No, well, they just came out with the Z06 motor that we haven't had any in the shop yet because they're brand new. They're still under warranty. Very complicated, very advanced engine.
Oh, wow.
I think it's the highest horsepower naturally aspirated engine in any car in the world right now.
Dear.
No supercharger, no power add-ons.
What the hell does this car cost?
About $150,000.
Okay.
Yeah. If you can get one.
If you can get one, yeah.
Get in line.
Wow. But the other ones that they have caught up now, production-wise, you could get them, right?
Yes.
The regular cars.
Yeah. So for a while, those cars were over sticker because more people wanted to pay more to get one.
And you couldn't get one.
You couldn't get one. Yeah. More people wanted them than you could.
Now, usually when somebody buys a Corvette, not a Z6, a regular one, they usually will get the suspension package. What do they call that? Z11?
Z51.
Yeah, Z51. That's how they order it, right?
That's how they order it.
What else do they usually look to get?
There's a cool option called front end lift, and you push a button, and the front of the car lifts up, so that you can clear curbs.
Ooh, wow!
You don't hit your $2,000 carbon fiber spoiler on something.
I have never heard that.
Oh, it's really cool, and it's programmable.
Oh, wow!
You could press a button, like when you're coming in your driveway and you want the car to lift.
It'll go to a certain spot.
So the car, every time it comes in the driveway, the GPS will tell it to lift automatically.
Oh my dear! Wow!
Those cars stink more than we do.
Oh, I guess so. I had never heard that.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's called front end lift.
Yeah. Now, do you ever spend some time with? out to the factory or anything?
I've been to the factory. It's been a long time since I've been to the factory, but I've been there. It's a really cool. They have tours. They close the tours down occasionally when they're building something secretive, so they'll shut down the tours.
Oh wow!
Again, the Corvette Museum is right across the street. You can take that tour also.
Oh yeah,
it's really cool. It's a fun day for sure.
Yeah.
But it's been a while since I've been there.
Somehow I got to get out there.
Yeah.
Hopefully to pick up my car.
There you go. That's one way to do it.
My wife will be good. Oh, she'll be driving me crazy now when she hears this. But they are beautiful, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Yep, they are.
Without doubt, And now, do you yourself, you love your race car, I know that. Mm-hmm. But do you have a favorite beyond that?
I get that question a lot, and it's really hard to say. I love different versions of Corvettes for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
The new car is phenomenal. You can't beat that. Was it my favorite one? I don't know. I don't think so. There's things that affect what might be my favorite one, maybe memories I've had in certain cars for certain times.
Yeah.
And those C4s, that generation, I own two of them now. It seems to be a fun generation for me. So,
See, to me, if I was ever to put a race car together, it would probably be a C3.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Yeah, because my first one was a '69. Then I had a 71. Those were C3s.
Yeah.
They were really. And I had another 69 that was really nice. So their favorite.
I heard though the back
cars
could be a little tricky.
The back
to make them handle it. The rear end.
Not too bad. I'm around that all the time, so I know what to do.
Okay, that's good to know. You never know when this old gray hair is going to show up with something. But yeah, that's kind of interesting that the race car, though, I tell you, to me, it's beautiful. I love that car. Mm-hmm. And the way you drive it, too, you handle that car perfect.
I was taught the performance driving to be very, very smooth in everything you do. Steering, pedal inputs, everything. Mm-hmm. And the smoother you are, the faster you are. So that's what I've learned.
I got to ask you, too, something about the newer cars. What do you think of the automatic transmissions with paddle shifting and all this?
That's a good question. In reality, it's better. It's faster. Mm-hmm. It's easier. I'm old school. I learned how to drive on a standard transmission car. My mother's '67 Chevelle was a 3-speed on the column. That was probably 1969 or 70. I got my license, and I learned on a stick. And I've always had sticks, so it's just something I really like to do. I taught my 15-year-old kid to drive a stick.
Yeah.
So he enjoys it too. It's fun.
But the new technology is going that direction, though. You can see.
It absolutely is. Yeah. Ferrari hasn't built a standard since 2001.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yep. Wow.
Yeah, amazing, isn't it?
It is.
A car that exotic, all automatics.
Automatic.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
That's something.
It's funny, but it affects the market. It's because so many cars are made automatics now, and it's mandatory. Some of the older cars, little older cars, even like 18s and 19s that were standards were available, worth more money now.
Oh, wow. Because they can't get them.
Because you can't get them. Yep.
I mean, the last few years, though, even the C7 I really liked the car.
Yeah, it's a good car. It's a very good car.
Of course, the C8s, I think, are beautiful, without a doubt. But the history with the cars are special, You have a 54 in your...
Yep, we do in the showroom. Yep.
It was an original car,
Original car, yep. It's been restored, over the years, but, 53 and 54 and 55 all look the same. The 53 Corvette, they built 300 of them. You try to buy one of those, they're $300,000-$400,000 for one.
Oh, yeah.
54, same exact car. Almost identical. They built 3,000 of them. Those cars sell for $75,000. It's amazing.
It is.
And 55, they think they came down to 700 cars, but they put a V8 in them. So those cars can be anywhere from 100 to 200,000 now. So.
I think they're so unique, though. The original 6-cylinder car, with a little automatic transmission.
Yeah, they're actually
power
fun.
glide. Yeah.
They're actually fun to drive. I wouldn't spend a lot of time.
Side draft carburetors.
Three side draft carburetors.
Yeah.
Pretty exotic for 1954.
Well, a good friend of mine, he had a 50 just a plain 50 Chevy sedan with the old motor, 235, whatever they were. And he had them carburetors on that thing.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And it used to petrify us going down Hudson Street, where Memorial Pool was down there.
Yeah.
And there'd be a hill. He'd go airborne. Oh my God. Oh, boy. Those were the days.
Those were the days, right, yep.
But, yeah, the Corvette history is special, without doubt,
Yeah, a lot of racing, a lot of records set back in the day. I mean, they tried to be very public with that to help sell cars. Yeah. They had to do.
I mean, that Zorro Arcus Duntov.
Yep.
I call him the father of the Corvette.
He is. Yep, I met him back in the 70s.
Yeah.
Quite a guy. Very heavy accent.
Oh, yeah.
But he was an engineer, and he was a hot rodder. Big time. I
can remember being a kid. We had like a 56 Chevy, and getting a Duntov cam was like a big deal.
Yeah, sure it was. Yeah.
But he was the father of this all.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. He became involved with the Corvette back in '53 when he saw the car at the Waldorf Astoria when they debuted it. And he wrote a letter to the president of GM how he should hire him to help them change the car and make it better. And they did. He did that. That was his life's mission.
He built some beautiful cars.
A lot of racing.
Yeah,
he did.
So we were talking about you had done some racing at Sebring.
Yeah.
How'd you like it?
Sebring's cool. So talk about history. The place was done back in the 40s, I believe, right after the war. Mm-hmm. It was a B-17 training base. So big, flat, wide open concrete, runways.
Yeah.
And they were closing the place down, from military stuff. And these sports car guys would come there and, borrow a section of the field and do their little race and stuff. It turned into a full-fledged racetrack in the 50s. And they hold these 12-hour races down there. And, the concrete's kind of bumpy, but it's fast.
Yeah, it is.
It's dead flat, but it's fast.
I can't tell you, Ray, how many times I have gone on YouTube to watch the original Trans Am race. That was there.
Yeah.
That was there.
Yeah, I've watched some of that stuff too. I can relate to it because I raced on that track numerous times.
Yeah. And it's flat, huh? It's very flat.
Very flat, dead flat.
Yeah. We're not used to that coming from a lime rock.
No, we got hills and bank corners and things like that. Yeah,
and then we were talking about the fact that originally that thing was going to go up the mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that track was.
Someday it may. You never know.
With these new owners that are in there, they're pretty progressive. That'd be cool.
You never know. Mm-hmm. Someday it may do that. Yeah. So where do you see the Corvette going from here, Ray?
So, the future, who knows the future, but the new cars are very exotic, and they're going to be getting more and more advanced as time goes on. We have to try to keep up with that technology ourselves, which we have, for 47 years we've been doing this. So we keep trying to do that, and we enjoy it, and there's still Corvette people. There's still cars.
Now, do you find the new Corvette owner, is he a different type of person?
So as the cars get newer, the owners, it's still typically, I'm going to say anywhere from mid-40s to, say, mid-70s. Is my typical customer base.
Yeah.
We do have some younger, people involved, even some older people involved.
You have to afford the car. Number one,
you have to afford the car. That's true. That's very true. Yep. You have to afford the car.
I don't even know. What does a regular Corvette go for now? About
a new one now?
Yeah.
So it's funny. Their base price is probably $70,000, which is in the world of exotic cars, dirt cheap.
Yeah, it is for that kind of a car. Yes.
Most people option them out to around, I'm going to say mid-80s to mid-90s as an average. Mm-hmm. These Z06s and some other things can get over $150,000.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look into the motor in that car. It must be very exotic, huh?
The Z06 one is, yeah. It's very exotic engine.
All kind of cams and.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, Ford has done the same thing too.
Yes, I agree. They have.
Mustang, you can get some real fancy stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But hey, They got to keep up, right?
They do. They got to keep ahead of each other.
Yeah.
Competition makes things better.
That's right.
Yep.
That's how it all
Improves.
started. People don't believe that, but that's how it all started. Is this competition?
Yeah, one trying to outdo the other. Yep.
Right from day one, when Model Ts and then they started, they was, it was proven on racetrack what's going to work.
Yeah. They still do that, basically. They still do it.
Yeah.
Yep, Corvette's racing the C8s, Z06s. And they've even built some customer cars that are racing in Europe.
Well, Le Mans is really special.
Yeah.
Their history there. Wow.
Yep. I've never been there. I always want to go there.
I couldn't imagine. Yeah, I feel the same way. I think it's the place you have to visit.
Yep.
The history and Corvette has made its mark.
Yes, it has. Yeah. Yeah.
Those cars. When I was up to that show there, I think it was vintage number 40 at Lime Rock, and they had a couple of those, the old cars that won Le Mans. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Very valuable cars right now.
Ooh, I couldn't imagine. You got that right.
I have some friends of mine that own those cars, and they're very valuable cars. Yeah.
Well, you come across some interesting stuff there, I have to say. I remember filming there one day, and I see this Camaro or Firebird. I said, that's one of those special cars.
Yeah.
They only made so many of them.
We get to see a lot of neat stuff in that shop. You never know where, it's funny, you never know where it's coming from. We get work from all over the country. Most of it's within a 200 or 300 mile radius, but there is stuff that comes from the West Coast to us, for various reasons.
Any problems when you got to do out of the country stuff, or no?
Haven't done a lot out of country. We sold cars out of country. We'll sell a car out, which is that's easy. Done some work for some people overseas, but not a real lot of it.
Now, do you get a lot of activity online? People asking you stuff?
Sure. Yeah. I get in the morning. There's always a lot of emails coming in, and got to answer them. And I always, emails are fine, but I always love talking to somebody. I can get a lot more information across and get a lot more questions answered by talking to people about it.
It's hard to believe what this internet has created.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
When you need to know something, it's just.
Hopefully, yeah.
And now you got this other craziness.
IA?
IA.
Yeah.
Oh, my dear.
Yeah.
What's going to happen?
I don't know.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Oh, boy, oh, boy.
Yeah.
I mean, that scares me, when I fooled around with it on my phone a little bit. But then I was finding out this thing is not telling you the truth sometimes.
Exactly. Just like the internet in general.
Yeah.
You can't always believe it,
Oh, no.
You can't always believe it.
And you got to be careful, when we go on Facebook and stuff like that. Everyone wants to be your friend, number one. But they're not real people.
No, they're not. No.
Unfortunately.
True. Yeah, I know.
You've been down that road, I'm sure.
Yep.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah. We just got to be careful.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, tell me, does your wife still drive? She still have that '78 Corvette?
So she gave that to my son.
Oh, she gave it to her son.
That's his car now.
I was hoping to get that from you someday.
No, you gotta get it out of my son's hands. Good luck with that.
Yeah, they're nice cars. I like them.
Yeah, that's his car.
That pace car edition. Yeah.
He drives at the high school once in a while.
Oh wow! What a lucky kid.
He is, yeah.
Man,
but he respects it and takes care of it. Yeah.
That's good. Well, I know he'll be fine with it.
Yep.
Yep. But in general, though, she into performance cars at all, or no?
Yeah, she loves when I bring home, new cars and different cars and things, because a lot of times I have to road test something. I'll take it home, put it in my garage, drive it in the morning, make sure everything's working right. And she loves seeing me bring home other stuff. She's a car girl, definitely. Yep.
Yeah, a friend of mine who I got to know through baseball, Jocko. You know Jocko?
I know Jocko. He's one of my customers.
Yes, yeah. Yes. We were talking one day, he was telling me he wants to sell the car. He got a car, I guess. He got a silver one.
He does, yep. Beautiful silver one.
I heard it was very nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Very nice. He bought that from me.
He did?
Yes, he did, yeah.
Yeah, a good guy. And he told me the car is good, though. He said that
beautiful car, yeah. It absolutely is, yeah.
I'm afraid to go look at it.
It's nice. Yeah, it's very nice. Yeah.
Once you see something you like, it's tough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, Ray, I have to say, talking about your business and what you do. You have an interesting life. That I'll tell you.
Try to keep
You've
it that
been
way.
very successful, number one, and there's a reason for it because you're good. That's number two. You are good at what you do, and you know, one of these days, I gotta get maybe my wife. Get together and you teach her how to drive a car.
That's easy. Sure.
And this gray hair, I don't know about me. But you never know. You never know where I'll show up.
That's right. You're always around.
I'm always around. Yeah. Well, when we're having fun, buddy, the time is flying again.
Yes, it is.
And we're going to have to call it a day. I really want to thank you, Ray, for being with us. And you too, the viewers, because I know when you need something done on a Corvette, I know you're going to be calling Ray. Ray, where is your shop?
It's on 184 Day Street in Newington.
In Newington.
Yep, right in Newington.
And you're online too, right?
Yeah, we're online.
Corvette Center.
CorvetteCenter-CT.com. Yep.
I'm sure that there's going to be some people that have some things they need done.
Yeah, they can come by the website and see what we do, and
we know
we
know that we could trust that you're going to take care of them.
Yep.
We want to thank you for being here tonight and say hello to Zach.
I will.
I can't wait to watch him race because I know he's going to be good.
He is.
You know, and with your tutelage, he's going to be even better. That I do know.
We're having fun.
Yes, you are. Thank you and good night. This program is brought to you in part by Just Results Weight Loss Center in Berlin, Connecticut.
Nick Augustino right here at the East Side Restaurant. We always have the complete full dinner menu. Knockwurst, bratwurst, sauerbraten, potato pancakes, red cabbage, rice pudding, cream pies, all the desserts that Germany had to offer. I always do something different. Yes, I do. I brought seafood to the beer garden at the East Side Restaurant. East Side Restaurant, your German destination restaurant in Connecticut. Tiki-taka, tiki-taka, hoi, hoi, hoi!
I'm your host, Kurt Barwis. Today, I have a very special guest, Dr. Andrew Lin.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Veterans Corner. My name is Chuck Wooden.
Decision for ourselves for this week, if we want to be made well.
Hi, welcome to the crack of dawn. It's Dawn Lombardi. I'm starting the painting. It's going to be the clips with some water. Love it.
He took me on the sets of Lost in Space, Batman.
Everybody has a story. What's yours? Until next time.